Pokémon is a game about catching all kinds of different creatures, but where's the fun in that? It's not like it's the franchise's slogan or anything, right? Right? And that's why today I decided to see if we really gotta catch 'em all, by attempting to beat Pokémon Fire Red using only my favorite Pokémon, Gengar. So I hope you're ready, not only for the journey of a lifetime, but also to subscribe. Man, that feels really shameless, but hey. So after receiving Gengar and beneath the rival, I delivered Professor Oak's package and headed straight to Viridian Forest, where I crushed the dreams of every bug catcher with my poison spitting ghost. After all, it's not about beating the game, it's about sending a message and defeating every trainer in my way. And oh look, I beat Brock. Something that became clear very quickly is that perhaps I didn't choose the best moveset for this kind of challenge. Gerson has Shadow Ball, Sludge Bomb, Hypnosis and Dream Eater. And while those might seem like good moves, once you factor in the fact that Shadow Ball can't hit normal types, which is like most of the trainer's Pokemon, as well as Sludge Bomb only having 10 PP, on top of the fact that to even hit Dream Eater I have to hit a non 100% accurate Hypnosis before, you can start to see the problem. But I'm sure we'll be fine, so I made my way to Mount Moon, where I clearly didn't get lost and had to run away from a Zubat every 2 steps. Oh well, I did get a fossil that'll continue being a fossil for all of eternity, before beating Misty by only spamming Shadow Ball. So after rescuing Bill from whatever it is he was trying to do, and receiving the SSN ticket, I realized that no matter how strong Jarson is, he can't really cut down trees at all, so I had to catch an Oddish, which I named Cut. And just like that, the run is dead. However, I'm making the rules, so I'm allowing extra Pokemon for AGMs. And don't worry about the double battles. Let's just say Jarson doesn't really like to share the spotlight. Look at him. Anyway, I made my way to SSN, where I finally got AGM Cut, so I thought cut, and now we have Cut. So after going the most trash puzzle in all of gaming, get it? It's because it's literally trash. Thank you. I beat up an ex-mercenary and got the 3rd badge, and then went to the rock tunnel without having flash, and yeah. With that, I got to Lavender Town. And even though I have the most powerful ghost of all time with me, I still can't see the spirit that's haunting the Pokemon Tower without a pair of special goggles, so I have to come back later. But man, I guess Gerson really wants to be a fire type now, cause what he did at the grass gym is something that not even a Charizard is able to. And what better way to celebrate than to gamble away all your life savings at a casino that let a 10-year-old in for some reason. I see a totally unsuspicious guy staring at a totally unsuspicious poster, and you know it, it's Team Rocket. And so, instead of calling the cops, I do what every sane person would do. Fight against the Mafia using only the power of friendship. And this lost soul that I summoned, but that's not important. So, after spending more time than I like to admit in a puzzle made for kids, I finally defeated their boss, who I'll obviously never see again. And got the Silph Scope that'll allow me to see that ghost. The other one. I obviously went straight back to the tower and massacred all of these fake Jarsons before sending Marowak's spirit back to hell. After all, the only ghost Pokemon that can haunt this region is Jarson. I also rescued this old man at the top of the tower, and he gave me a flute that makes Snorlax wake up and get out of my way. But nothing could prepare me for what came after Snorlax. My worst nightmare. A route filled with trainers with normal types, one after another. Rattata, Pidgey, Meowth, Jigglypuff, Spearow. It's like they sent every normal type in the game at me at once. I beat a few of them before having to go back to the Pokemon Center in order to not run out of PP twice. Seriously, this part of the game must have been designed by the biggest ghost hater ever. But that won't stop me. I went back and beat every last trainer in the area without even having to. So, after that well-deserved massacre, I went to the Safari Zone to get the next required AGM. Surf, and also Strength too, because unfortunately for us, Jarson isn't much of a swimmer and can't really push boulders around, so I guess we'll need more unofficial members of the team to use those. Yeah. But that can wait, because now I wanted to do Koga's gym, and things went as well as you'd expect. Other than the fact that I almost ran out of PP because I didn't want to go back to heal, but hey, we did it. So, after catching a horsey named Surf and teaching it Surf, I caught a Rhyhorn named Strength, and taught him, you guessed it. I then made my way to Saffron City, which was taken over by Team Rocket, and it's once again a 10-year-old's responsibility to take care of this mess. Well, their boss probably forgot what happened a few minutes ago, so after Gerson reminded him, we kick out Team Rocket and get the Master Ball, which is completely useless in this run. Woohoo! With that, I decided to do the dojo, even though I won't take either of the Pokemon that they offer you for beating it. And after doing that, I headed for Sabrina's gym, which is normally really annoying because you keep teleporting everywhere. But that's really it, because the battles themselves were so easy that I can't even call them battles. Now I have to go back to Koga City and have Surf use Surf to get to Articuno's cave, where Strength can use Strength to get to Articuno. And I just checked the Master Ball, called him Fly, and... what do you mean Fly isn't mandatory? And so I made it to Cinnabar Island, but for some reason the gym's locked and the key is at the basement of an abandoned mansion. So after getting it, I go straight to the gym, thinking it would be like any other, but little did I know, this would be the first time Gerson would be defeated. All because I wasn't paying attention and kept trying to use hypnosis on a safeguard Vulpix. And by my fault, Gerson took his first L. And so it was time for my revenge. I blasted through the gym without a problem before making it to Blaine. And once again, my lack of attention was the death of me, as he used a hyper potion in his Arcanine that burned Gerson, and together with the damage of Fire Blast was enough to take him out. But I wasn't gonna give up. This time I knew exactly what to do, and one-shot the Arcanine with Hypnosis and Remeter. And the rest of the battle was just as easy. To think that I lost not once but twice due to my own ignorance really leaves a bitter taste, but I don't even have time to think about that, because now it's time for the most boring part of this game, the island quest. Well, to sum it all up, we need to rescue this little girl from a hypno for some reason, and then retrieve a meteorite. And look, I never really pay attention to this part. All I know is the whole hypno thing caused irreparable damage to this franchise. But anyways, time for the last gym, whose leader is none other than Giovanni, that just had to feel Gerson's power for the third and last time. And after beating the rival one last time, it's time for the victory road. And I ran out of PP because I was minimized stalled by a Chansey? Even though we're now at a point where even struggle deals a ton of damage, it's still struggle, and it eventually became too much for Gerson to handle. I came to learn that this lack of PP was one of Gerson's two main weaknesses. The other one is my own stupidity, but I obviously didn't come this far just to give up. So I passed through all of Victory Road again through sheer force before making it to the Indigo Plateau. So this is it. Everything we went through has brought me here. I said goodbye to all the unofficial members that helped me, because now Gerson has to do this himself. The first battle is against Lorelei, who uses ice types, and I realized right off the bat that the PP problem might come back to haunt me again. But before I can even think about that, I almost get taken out by Jinx, who puts me to sleep. I think it's all over, but I managed to get by. But the next fight against Bruno is much easier, since he uses fighting types, so Gerson literally eats his dreams and fully heals thanks to that. The next one, however, is personal, since Agatha uses not one, but two Gengars, and also a Hound or two. Everything seems to be going well until she uses my own trick against me and puts me to sleep. And if that wasn't enough, I'm unlucky enough to sleep for the max 3 turns of sleep, and so I lost at the Elite Four. This time I got really mad because I didn't lose because of my own stupidity or lack of PP. I was just really unlucky, and to make matters worse, it was to another Gengar. But this isn't how this story ends. I return with fire in my eyes and show her why my Gengar is Gerson and hers is a mere Gengar. Now all that's left is Lance. And even though Gerson's level is much higher, all of his Pokemon are really tanky and none die to a single hit, and I'll do a good chunk of damage. But I learned from my mistakes, and this time I got some max potions that helped me win just barely without my PP on their last legs. But our journey isn't over just yet. There's still another battle ahead of us, and it's against Tonyo. I didn't mention it, but my friend Antonio is also doing this challenge with me, using only his favorite Gen 1 Pokemon, Aerodactyl, and we decided to name our rivals after each other. So my last battle is against none other than the other person that was with me this whole time. But at the state Gerson's at, it's impossible for me to win. Tonyon has more Pokemon than I have PP left. But at this moment, I remember that I have a Max Eater that lets me restore all the PP of a single move. So I use it to restore Sludge Bomb. But that won't be enough. So I have the idea of using TMs to change Gerson's attacks and consequentially restore their PP. I swap Dream Eater for Giga Drain and Hypnosis for Toxic. Save my game, and with that, my fate is sealed. If this moveset isn't good enough, there's no going back. This is it. The battle starts and I take out Pidgeot with a couple Sludge Bombs, but take a Sand attack, which is not ideal. Then his Alakazam lives on 1 HP before setting up a Reflect, which is really annoying, but he uses his full restore, and 2 more Sludge Bombs take care of that. After that is Arcanine, and I immediately had War flashbacks. And to make things worse, I don't have Hypnosis and Dream Eater anymore, so I have to settle in for the next best option, Toxic Stalling. However, when he's almost dead, he uses another full restore, so I have to stall some more and run out of potions, but not out of options, as Giga Drain finishes off Arcanine and one-shots Blastoise, because why not? Executor goes down by some Sludge Bombs, and a final Giga Drain fully heals me and ends the battle. And just like that, I proved that it is indeed possible to conquer the Kanto region using only a single Gengar. So let that be a lesson. Whenever you feel that something is too difficult and all hope seems lost, just remember, nothing's impossible if you summon a really silly ghost to take care of your problems. If you made it this far into the video, I just want to say thank you so much. This video was a lot of work to do, so I'd really appreciate if you liked and subscribed, especially if you want to see more videos like this. So yeah, I'm not really good with outros, so...